Hi everyone, welcome back to Case Done Live. We are at episode 8 today. At Case Done, we will bring you actionable insights so that you can empower your business, your team, or even yourself with the power of AI and generative AI like the LLMs. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channels. We have YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. Today, we have two interesting sections and topics. The first section is going to be about Ollama, which is an application that allows you to manage open source models like Llama 3, Llama, and 5.3. You can download it and run these LLMs on your laptop or on your machines. And you can even host an API so that you can build applications that call to these API itself. In the second part, we are going to build an application that summarizes YouTube video for you. And in this section, we are going to use 4 tools. The first one is the Ollama itself. Second one is Llama 3 model, the LLM model. The third one is LangChain framework. And the last one is Gradio to build a user interface. Let's get started. The first section is about Ollama. We will walk you through how to use these tools. But first, what is Ollama? Ollama is an open source application that allows you to do these things. You can use open source large language model like Llama 3, Llama 5.3, or Mistral. You can download them to your machines, to your laptop. And after that, you can run these LLMs and have a chat like an assistant, even on your laptop. Then you can customize your chat sessions with the LLM by configure system prompts or other parameters such as temperature or context length. And lastly, this is important and this is key for Ollama. By using a model file, you can easily manage your LLM configurations. So for example, after you have set system prompts, you can save it and then you can easily load that back so that you can chat with your system prompt LLM. And when you have this model file, you can send it to other people. You can easily share your configuration with other people easily. Ollama will be probably liked by developers because you will likely need to interact with it via a command line like this. So it might look overwhelming to beginners, but this is not that difficult. I think I can walk you through it. If I can do it, you can do it. Now, what kind of models that are supported directly by Ollama? So as of May 2024, these are the models that are supported by the Ollama framework or application. You can, for example, you can download Llama 3 using Ollama run Llama 3 command line. You have 5.3, Mistral, NeuroChat, Sterling models, called Llama Lava model, which is a multimodal, so it allows you to input a text and an image. For example, you add an image and you ask a Lava model to describe the image. And obviously you have Google's model called Llama in your inventory as well. Now, Ollama will gradually support more models in the future for sure. This is how it's going. And you can actually check here for supported models. You can search for some names that you are interested in and you will be able to see whether it's supported by Ollama or not. And you can see here that it also supports Command R model from Cohere, I suppose. Code Llama that is fine-tuned to be really good at coding or programming. DBRX from Databricks, for example. Quen, I don't know where it is from. Oh, it's from Alibaba. You have Dolphin, Llama 2. The list will keep going. And when other LLM providers release open source model, it should be added to the Ollama platform shortly after. Now, Ollama platform works easily with a file gguf. If you have the gguf files, you can Ollama model to download that file very, very easily. But if you are familiar or you want to use other formats like Safe Tensor, I forgot the E here, there should be an E over there, but it's another format that keeps the model weights. You can work with that in Ollama as well, but there is a more difficult path towards that. So yes, you can import Safe Tensor files, but you have to go through all these steps. It's not that bad. I did it myself, and yeah, you can easily follow these guides. So what is new in May 2024 is Llama 3 Lava, which is a multimodal model, meaning text and image model. Now, enhanced version of the Llama 3. This is what we are going to have a play today as well. We have a 5.3 enhanced with Lava, so a multimodal as well. You have Star Coder 2, Code Llama. This is interesting if you are a programmer. Maybe you want to have a large language model fill in the doc string for your code. The Code Llama might be able to do it as well. So what can you do with Ollama? These are things that you can do with Ollama. Once you download the model, the LLM, you can start a chat conversation with it. So you have access to GPT or Gemini styles assistant. You can ask it, and you can ask it whatever it is. You can carry a conversation with it. Next thing is you can also ask an LLM for an answer based on a given text. So this is an application or technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. You ask something and you want the LLM to answer based on that given context. Now, Ollama has a function to support that directly as well. The third thing that you can do is you can ask the LLM about an image, given that you are using a multimodal models like the Lava variants of other models, for example. The last two things are about serving your application. It allows you to serve up the LLM as a local API, so you can actually locally hosting your LLM on your machines, and you can also serve this as a Docker as well. But this is not. I'm not going to cover that today. Okay, nice. You can do all these, but what kind of ways you can interact or work with Ollama? There are three main categories. The first one is you interact with Ollama via a command line. For example, terminal in the Mac OS. This is what I'm using today. Secondly, you can work with Ollama via a Python library as well. If you have installed it, this is what you will start with. You import Ollama, and then you can do most of the things that the command line commands will be able to do with Ollama. And the last thing is it has a lot of integrations. So you can actually check out this page. Go down. Oh, maybe this is a wrong one. I need to correct it. Okay, that's my bad. But basically, if you come to the correct README file, you will get to the bottom where it's about community integrations. So you can actually check out all these tools, which one will be interesting to you. One of them that I looked into is integration with a database tool. This is called MindDB. So if your application will be involving any database, maybe check out this integration as well. Okay, I need to correct this link for me. But in more detail, if you run, so when you download Ollama from its website and you install it, it comes as an app. If you run an app, it will automatically set up a port for you, and you can access it via a local host, and the default port value is 11434. So That's the way to call in to your locally hosted LLM already. Now you can change the behavior of these default values and other default values in the environment variables, but I'm not going to show you today, but you can do that. And here you can see here that, okay, these are the environment variables that you can change, and one of them is the host and port number. I'm just going to use the default value because I don't have any problem with it now. Okay, if your application, your Ollama app is running, this port will be occupied. And when you run this Ollama serve, it will crash. It will throw an error saying that the address is already in use. Basically, that it is going to tell you that Ollama is running at this port already. You don't need to do it again. But whatever it is, if it happens that you have shut down the application, basically you kill the app. Actually, I can show you right now here at the top of my screen. This is the Ollama icon. It means that it's running right now. So if I kill this app and I want to serve my API locally, I need to run this command, Ollama serve. That's what it is. All right, I'm going to show you how to work with Ollama in steps. But before I go to do that, I will explain what is happening. The basic workflow is this. You need to download the language model, the large language model, to your computer first. For example, if you want to use Llama 3, you need to download Llama 3 from the cloud to be stored on your laptop. And you can do this by this command, Ollama pull Llama 3. It will take some time depending on the size of the model that you are going to download and also the internet bandwidth that you are having right now. So this is an example that when I started downloading Llama 3, I just typed in a command, Ollama pull me Llama 3, and it will start the download. After you have the model on your computer, then you can start a session chatting with it. And you do this by, say, Ollama run a model for me. As an example, this is a way to do it. Ollama run Llama 3. So let's just do it right now, and then we'll come back to that website later. So one of the other commands is to list out what kind of models that I have on my local computer. I can do this, Ollama list. Now it will give me, these are the models that I have. So this is the original model that I downloaded, and these are derivatives models. Basically, I made some system prompts and I saved the model so I can load it back up later. But that will be discussed later today. Let's focus on what we have right now. We download Llama 3. We want to just start chatting with it. So I will say Ollama run Llama 3. And it's preparing chat sessions. This chat session has history as well. It start having a history as default, but you can turn it off later. So it's easy to, you don't need to remember much of the commands here because the interface is nice. If I have any doubt what I should do, I can just type in /? and then these are the available commands that I can do. I can say I want to know about the model information, so I can type in /show. Oh, okay, I need to do more, like /show info. So right now I am chatting with the Llama family. This model has a size of 8 billion parameter and is being quantized to a level of Q4 _0. You can look it up, the meaning of this quantization in the internet, but this is not the topic for today. Okay, let's start chatting. Hello, I'm Benz. Who are you? Here you go. This is Llama model started to chat with me. So it's nice to meet me, Benj. I'm a llama, blah blah blah, and so on. Alright, that's the first one. Tell me what is 1 plus 1. It should be 2, right? Drum roll, right? It has some jokes in it. So I can say this, that large language model is not so good at calculating maths, but this is easy enough for the model to do 1 plus 1. It's all over on the internet. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Alright, I'm going to test whether it has a memory, or it can, basically, can it remember what my name is? Can you recall my name? Right, so you can see that it has some memory to start it off with. And if you go into the detail, you can dig it up how many lines of, how many turns of conversation it can keep in memory, and what will happen if it becomes overflowing, meaning you have too many turns chatting. What is the Ollama default way to handle that situation? You can dig it up in more detail, but this is a beginner class. It's just going to keep it clean to start off. All right, here we go. So what else? What kind of commands that I can do? The set command allows you to set many things. What things? Well, you can set parameters, you can set system prompts, you can set template, you can turn on and off history, you can set whether you want to have a word wrap or not, and many other things like quiet, disable LM stats. I'm not sure why I would need it. But anyway, so you have other things to do. Let's say, okay, parameters, what can I do? Inside parameters, you have many things, and one of them is temperature. So a low temperature means the model is more deterministic. A higher temperature increases the likelihood of the model generating creative answers. So if you want something, if you want a model to help you creating stuff, turn on the temperature. So I would try set parameter temperature, okay, to 0. Now it's set to 0. Okay. Let's say that write a 1 stanza poem about a cockatoo flying in the sky. I'm not sure if it's going to do it well. I turn the temperature down to 0. It should not be so creative. With feathers bright like sun-kissed gold, the cockatoo soars its spirit bold. It rides the wind with wings outstretched, a flash of white against the blue's gentle clash. Well, not bad. Let's try it again, but I want to set the temperature up. Temperature. Alright, write a 1 stanza poem about a cockatoo flying in the sky. Softly swooping through the azure air, the cockatoo's majestic flight is shared. With feathers ruffled and eyes aglow, it rides the wind, its spirit soaring low. I think it's better than the temperature of 0. Okay, so now you know how to set things up, and one of the command that I can do is clear. Basically, it's going to clear out everything. Okay, let's try. Clear out everything. Now, I want the model to answer my name. Can you recall my name? It should not be able to answer because we have cleared all the conversations that has happened before to this point in time. Now, it keeps apologizing, but basically, well, it doesn't have a context to work on, and that's fair. All right, so if you want to quit the chat message, one of the ways is just to say bye, and that's it. You have quit that, right? Now, you can see that there are load and save. You can try yourself. This is, I think, I will invite you to try. If you, so keep chatting a few times, maybe introduce your name to it, and then you can save the model. And if you load it back, is the session's chat history going to be tagged along with or retrieved? If it is, good. So I want you to just try it out. Now, that's one of the way. Basically, you download the model. Once you finish download, you just start using it right away, right? Another way that is quite interesting is by using a model file. Ollama provides you a way to save a configurations and load it back up very, very quickly. And then you can even share that configuration with your friend. So let me just clear. Let me just go to the location that I prepare my stuff. All right. Okay, let me just list out the models that I have. So one of the commands is to remove the model that you already have here. So let me just show you that. Ollama remove Pizza Chef. Okay. Oh, sorry. I need to have this Pizza Chef Llama 3. It's deleted now. So these are the models that I have at this point. Okay, what is model file? Model file is a file that contains configurations that you want. You have seen previously that you can set temperature, you can set system prompt, you can do it in here, in this model file. And when you load, I will show you later, when you create a model by combining or loading this model file, the settings will be, the settings in the configurations in the model file will be set properly for you. Okay, one of the model file that I have created is a Pizza Chef. Use Vim to create and edit it. Make sure that you do not append any extension to this file. It just, so for example, this file must be Pizza Chef, not pizzachef.txt. At least I tried a version with the extension myself, and then I couldn't work with Ollama. So remove the file. Alright, so I'm just going to open up Pizza Chef, and in this file, you always start with from. From tells Ollama that this model is going to be based on what base model. In this case, is a Llama 3 base model. And then I prime the model with a prompt, system prompt. I ask it to be this. You only answer about pizza and you hate pineapple in pizza. That's it. You can have more parameters in it, like temperature. You can add more, and a way to do this in detail is you come to this file on GitHub and you read the documentations. Like if you want to set a parameter, what kind of parameter you want, let's say temperature, what are you going to do? So let me just add a temperature in there. Oh, okay, can I just go? Oh, I'm not so good at using Vim. Oops. Okay, here we go. I just type I, isn't it? Okay. Okay, I put in parameters, and what else? It needs to be followed by temperature. Right. And here, this is an example. Temperature, lowercase. Let's say I want it to have a very high temperature. Alright, I saved my Pizza Chef just to make sure that the thing stays here. This is parameter and temperature 0.9. Alright, so I have my model file ready. I can send it to other people so that he or she, when receive this model file, can create a model with the right parameter being set as in this Pizza Chef file. So that he or she will do this. Ollama create. Now you give it a name, a ball node name. So I would say Pizza Chef model. And I want the Ollama to create this model based on this. That's it. It's as simple as this. Now you have a model called Pizza Chef in your laptop, and then you can start chatting with it. Llama run Pizza Chef. Now the model is being loaded, and here, hello, I'm Benzo. Oh, very Italian. Congratulations. Welcome to my pizzeria. What can I do for you? See, this, I think this is the effect of the temperature being very high, like 0.9. Looks like the generation, the text generation seems very creative. We got a fresh batch of dough just out of the oven, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be masterpiece. You like classic margarita, or maybe some meat lovers. Margarita? Okay, just don't even think about putting pineapple on it. Capiche? Good. Okay, I'm just going to ask, what is the pizza that has mushroom toppings? Topping. What's the answer? You're talking about the funky favorite, amigo. Amigo? Is amigo Italian? I do not know. Alright, so it has some pretty good answer to it. It's famous funky Italiano. It's a classic combination of salty mushroom, fresh parsley, and sprinkle of Parmesan cheese on a bed of rich tomato sauce. And let me tell you, Ben, it's gonna be love at first bite. No pineapple. So remember that I primed the LLM with the system prompt to hate pineapple on pizza. How is it going to handle if I say I like Hawaiian pizza? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Can't be serious. Hawaiian with pineapple and ham. That's like putting ketchup on a good steak. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, no way. Alright, so this is it. You have created a model based on a model file. Now, what is it going to do when you save your sessions? Check it out, try it out. Okay, but eventually you will be saving another model, and go check if the history will be tagged along with it. But for now, I am going to say goodbye to my Italian chef. Alright, where were we? So we were here that I have introduced you to another workflow where you created a model file, all having this model file will have important parameters or configurations that you want to set up, like a from keyword and a system prompt. If you want, you can also set up other parameters as well. So in the next section, we are going to take a look at popular commands or often used commands for the command line. You have seen Ollama list It's going to list out models that you have on your laptop. Ollama pool plus the model name will download or update the model that you want. You have already seen Ollama remove. It's going to remove a model that you don't want anymore. Ollama serve, you haven't seen that, but I can show you right now. Okay, here I have a Ollama app running at the background, meaning one of the port number 11434 is already taken by Ollama. So if I type in Ollama serve, I should get an error. Okay, Ollama serve. Here I have got an error saying that this port is already in use. So basically, I can actually call this, I can make an API call to this server right now. But if I turn off or kill my Ollama app, you will see later that with a Python API call, I will get nothing. I will get an error actually. This is because the Ollama is now not running. What you need to do is you need to serve it, and you can do so like that. And now you already have Ollama application running but in the background, not from the app interface. But I don't want this. I want to use the terminal, so I'm just going to kill it and turn on my Ollama from an app. Here we go. This little killed llama icon is back. Alright, you have seen this type of command. It's actually to create a model based on a model file. You can find more command lines, commands here in this reference. So you don't have to remember everything right now. You can always come to my blog here, www.kesdon.ai/blog, and you will see Ollama beginner guide as one of the blogs there. Okay, what we would like to cover right now is inputs, the way to input your text during the session. I'm going to skip this rather quickly because in multiple lines, if you want to type in multiple lines, you can use the triple quotes. This is similar to what you will use in Python programming language for multiple line text as well. So you can use this. What is more interesting is the multimodal input, right? Multimodal means text and image. And so one of the way is to type in the text that you want, and then at the end you add a path to your image, and this is what I'm going to show you. But again, make sure that you are running a model that is capable of doing multimodal, and one of them is the Llama model. This is the Llama model. You can download it first, Ollama pool Llama, and then you can start using it. So I'm going to, okay, before I go into that, I have my image in this folder right here. It's actually a picture of me, but style transfer to be more a little bit punky. Yeah, well, okay, I don't want to show you how it looks like right now, but if you have my social profiles, well, that's the image I'm talking about. All right, so Ollama run Llama model. It's taking quite some time. Here we go, it's ready. Hello, let's start by greeting. Okay, great. Now, okay, what is happening? Well, I don't understand that. Anyway, so describe this image in detail. Now, path is ./image png. Now, what is happening is that at the background, the image is being loaded and it's provided to the model along with the text. Describe this image in detail. The answer is back. The image is a digital illustration of an adult male, correct? He has a short black hair and a light beard. Okay, correct. His eyes are looking to the left side of the image with a slight smile. He's wearing glasses, correct, with a bluish tint on his face, and he is dressed in a dark colored shirt. Okay, sort of correct. With a rolled sleeve, correct. The character appears to be standing outdoors. Incorrect, but whatever. As suggested by the blurred black background. That includes what looks like an overcast sky and buildings in the distance. There are no visible text, distinctive markings on the character's clothing or in the image. Correct. So it's doing really, well, not really, it's doing a decent job at explaining this image to me, but I'm a little bit surprised with its Korean language replying back to me. But whatever it is, Llama model can handle two types of input, text and an image. And now you know how to work with this model with Ollama. Bye. Parsing an argument is something that you can do as well. And this is similar to, this is actually a built-in RAG-based application. You can try that yourself. This is an example. The text is summarize this file. And then you point to the file location, but make sure to enclose it with the $sign and a bracket. And then you use a command cat to load that file. So I suggest you go take a look and play with this one. Okay. Now, I think it's the last section. Yes, it's the last section. So when you have Ollama running in the background, meaning you have it running as an app, or you can call you have called Ollama Serve, you can use Ollama integration with Python. And why this is useful? This is because in Python you have plethora of other tools to build applications like LangChain and Gradio. And this is going to be our next topic. But before I go there, this is how you can, this is one of the ways that you can code so that you can call Ollama in Python. You can import Ollama and then you say Ollama chat, I want to chat with Llama 3 and these are my messages. And you send that to your locally serving or locally hosted Llama 3 and then you get the response back. In the following code, so in this code you are actually use Ollama library to communicate with the server that you have at the back via this Ollama, but you can also do this in a LangChain framework as well. And this is the way to do it. You do this, you import Ollama from LangChain Communities LLM module, and it has a nice integration. You say, okay, similar to the way that we usually do. You say what model do you want to use, and you point your URL to your locally serving API at localhost 11434. And you can also set the temperature along with it as well. Here we go. I think this blog page gives you a decent information as a beginner to use Ollama as a tool to download your select open source LLMs so that you can run a ChatGPT style assistant and have a chat with it. It can help you with many tasks like creative tasks or summarization tasks or extraction tasks. Most of the NLP tasks, these model will be able to handle it for you. You can even have your own locally hosted or local API so that when you build other applications, you can call back to this API and get the LLM's response back. Alright, so before we move on, don't forget to subscribe to our channels. We have YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. So subscribe to our channel or go to our website and subscribe in our website as well. So make sure it is a way to make sure that you will get notified of our updates, latest updates or tips, or maybe freebies. I'm planning to give out some freebies in the future soon. So don't forget to subscribe to our channels. Alright, march on to the second part, where we are going to build an application that allows you to summarize the YouTube video. And one of the tools that you are going to use is the Ollama tool, but you will also use Llama 3 model, LangChain, and Gradio to build this. This is the output of today's code. You have a YouTube summarizers empowered by Llama 3 large language model. It starts with putting in the URL of the YouTube link that you want. Then you can get title, you can get description of that YouTube video, and then you click this button and you will get a transcription. You can see the full transcript here. Get the transcript. I should just change it, but whatever. You will get a full transcript here, and you can also see an estimate token count of this. Estimate token counts of this transcript, and when you click summarize, this full transcript will be summarized by the LLM for you. This is the end of our today's journey. Let's start with the basic idea of the summarization task. So basically, you have a source that you want to summarize. It can be in many forms like text files, PDF files, Excel's, Words. It can even be in a form of URL, HTML format, even database, perhaps like data frames. You have a source and you want the LLM to summarize. When you have a source, you need to load the text in order to be ready for summarization. And when you load it up, you are forming the prompt. And this is one of the prompts that is possible for this task. The prompt says, summarize the following text. And then you put in what you have loaded to that prompt. And then you end the prompt with answer. This prompt is effectively will be understood by the LLM so that it will create a summary of the given text. This is the basic idea. You have source, you load it to a text, and you craft a final prompt with a text you want to summarize being embedded in there, and then you give this prompt to the LLM. Simple, but there are two main issues here. One of the issues is that there could be non-text elements in the files. For example, like images, embedded objects like audio files, graphs. So these elements, most of the LLMs cannot handle it off the bat unless people need to do some coding or manipulations. But usually the LLM will not handle non-text elements. So that's the first challenge. The second challenge is the text that you want to summarize can end up being too long, longer than the LLM's context length. Remember, the LLM context length is the maximum number of tokens that can fit into the LLM. If you have a longer than that, you cannot fit it. You'll get an error. So if you think of it as human eating, context length of the LLMs is how big the mouth of a human is in order to eat and digest the food, right? So if you have something that you want to summarize and it's too long over the context length, what are you going to do? this is the second challenge. So in this video, we will provide a way to handle challenge number 2, where the context length is overflown or the text is being too long. The idea is this. You add a few more steps in between. Again, you have the text that you want to summarize, assuming that you have loaded into the memory already, and you know that it's too long. What you can do is you break it into chunks. The green chunk is the first chunk, and you have a yellow chunk. That's the second chunk, and you can see that it's possible to have an overlap between chunks, adjacent chunks. This is to make sure or to encourage the model to at least understand what is happening before in the chunk before. So this is one of the parameters that you can adjust in your chunk splitting process. And then you can imagine that you have as many chunks as you need in order to cover the whole text, right? And for each chunk, you are going to craft its associated prompt, similar to this type of prompt, but in this text placeholder, you only put in the chunk that you want to summarize here, and you provide that prompt, let's say prompt 1, to the large language model to summarize, and then you will get one summary, and then you get prompt 2 and summary 2, prompt 3 and summary 3, and so on. Now, the last step, by the way, this step is the map step. You map a chunk to its summary. And then the final one is the reduce step. Now you have a list of summaries, you just want to reduce it to one final summary. And this is the final prompt. Might not be exactly like this. You can customize your final prompt, but it's going to be in the light of combine the following separate summaries into a coherent summary for me, and you provide list of summaries until the end, right? And then you give this to the LLM, and then you will get the final summary. So this is how easy it is, but it can be a lot of coding if you want to do that yourself. Luckily, LangChain, a famous tool for building LLM applications, has a wrapper function called load summarize chain. Allows you to do this type of application, the summarization, especially when the context length is overflown. LangChain provides a tools to use this, to do this in just a few lines of code. And this is an example over here. In this example, some functions are loaded properly, and the source is an URL. The text of the source is loaded into this document, and okay, then LangChain will say, okay, I'm going to use Chat and OpenAI model GPT 3.5 Turbo as my language model, LLM, and this is it. You get a chain by calling load summarize chain, putting in the LLM and the chain type that you want. Now there are 3 chain types. The first one is stuff. This is stuff. Stuff is when you stuff everything in one prompt. It's applicable to when the text you summarize is small enough to fit within the context length. But yeah, it's just the basic thing. Stuff everything in there. But if you know that the context length is overflown, you need to either use map reduce or refine. I'm going to leave refine type, chain type for you to discover, but yeah, it can be as simple as replacing stuff with map reduce chain. Okay, that's actually, instead of that presentation slide, you can also come to my blog to read over this again. I think I provide more information in text here. Well, I should start with why do we need summarization? So it has values because there are many use cases. For example, you can summarize a report, a file, documents if it's too long. You can summarize a customer chat if the customer is chatting with your company. You want to summarize what is happening, what kind of action that your company should take. For example, if you are learning new things on YouTube all the time and most of the video is very long, an hour at least, like this live video for example, you can use this to summarize your YouTube video as well. That's a catch. As I mentioned, the LLM works right now. The LLMs that we are using is Llama 3, works in text already, so it's not going to summarize YouTube based on its video, but it's going to summarize YouTube based on its transcription. Yeah. Anyway, another application similar to the YouTube video is summarize a very long podcast, given that you can get a transcript from it. Okay, here you have a basic thing, you have potential issues and the map reduce approach here. That's it. One more thing, I showed previously that you can use chain.run. That was an old style. In the new update, the run function was encouraged to be replaced by the invoke function, and it's just as simple as replace run with invoke. All right, now enough theory and presentation. Let's go to the coding. Here we go. All right, so I have prepared this so that it's ready to run and produce a Gradio interface, but I can walk you through what is happening here. Oops, sorry guys, my eyes are getting itchy. Anyway, so we are loading whatever tools that we need. We are using PyTube library to get information from a YouTube URL link. Gradio is for building an interface. Request is for retrieving information via an URL. RE is needed to help us, in this case, extract YouTube description from a given link. LangChain is going to help us in working with large language models, prepare prompts and pass the outputs for us. Token is a library that we are going to use to estimate the token counts that we need to process. All right, now that's the import. Now this section is the helper functions. This function, as the name says, it will get YouTube descriptions if I provide it with a URL link. I didn't write this myself. It's from Stack Overflow. Thank you very much for those who have provided this to the public. This is a YouTube video info. So given the YouTube URL link, what I will get out here is a title of that video and the description where I will call the previously mentioned function. This one is going to help me load a YouTube transcript into. So now I have a YouTube transcript as a source. I want to just load it so that I can prepare, I can be ready for the splitting steps, right? Now I'm using a tool from LangChain as well. LangChain has a tool called YouTube Loader where you give it a URL and it will just extract the transcription for you. Play with it and you will see what it looks like. Now I need this to I wrap it up so that I can display it in my Gradio interface. Nothing more than that. Okay, so get text splitter is going to So the text splitter is handling this part, handling this splitting part. By the way, when I show you guys these colored chunks, it's just theoretical. It's not as rigorous as when you are going to use tools like recursive character text split or sentence splitter. So for those kind of technical details, you can read the documentation. But again, LangChain provides text splitter tools for us to use. And one of the ways that I'm going to use is a recursive character text splitters, where I provide the chunk size, like how big, for this chunk, how many tokens do I need as a maximum. And then I can provide the number of overlaps between adjacent chunks. Now, for this one is, I give in the URL of the YouTube video that I want. Then I'm going to get a transcript text as a text, and also how many tokens are in it. And eventually, this is the punchline here. This function gets called when a summary button is clicked. So basically what it needs here, it takes an input URL, the YouTube URL. It has a temperature, chunk size, and an overlap size. So basically what is going to happen is that first, a document, the source, the URL, which is a source, is going to be loaded and loaded as text to summarize. Then the steps of chunking will come in using a text splitter. Now I get chunks. Then I define the language model I'm going to use, and thanks to Ollama running at the background, my LLM is sitting on my laptop, available at port localhost. Available at localhost port 11434 with this temperature that I can set to whatever number I want. Then I create a change using a helper function called load summarize change, and I want a map reduce process or approach. When I have my change, I can just say invoke it. I'll get an output and eventually an output text. That's very simple, right? You might see that there are so many functions, but most of them follow through the steps. Load the text from a source, split the text, define your LLM, define the change, and run it. And these functions will be coupled with the Gradio interface. I am going to provide this code on my GitHub, on Kestan GitHub, so don't worry, you don't need to copy and paste here. But when I run this code, it's going to create a user interface via Gradio, where all the buttons are placed according to my design. And yeah, we can have it a go. Okay, by the way, this is a Jupyter notebook. You can have a Gradio embedded. You can have a Gradio interface embedded here, but what I want to show you is actually here. So I prepare main.py, which can be run with the command line, and at the end of the code, demo.launch, I set share to be true, meaning I can eventually I will get a link that I can send it to somewhere else. So no matter where it is in the world, with the internet of course, he or she or the user should be able to run this app. So let's get started. Okay, let me just pull a terminal. Alright, let's this one is Yes, I'm using the right environment so I can run ta-da, not yet. Okay, so it's if I want to do it locally, it's here. But if I want to send someone else this link, he or she will be able to run this. So let's actually use that one. Now I put in the URL. It's loading the interface. Okay, this is how it looks like. Now I have a default value, so just to show you quickly. So okay, I want to get the info. Takes a while, but what it's doing here is initializing whatever it needs to do to talk to YouTube server, get the title back, get the description back, and populate this. To make sure that I'm not fooling you guys, here we go. Yes, this is the video. So this is I created. It's about using generative AI when I travel to Tokyo. It's my first time there, and what kind of helps I can get from generative AI when I travel. And this is the title. Check this out when you have time. So this is the title. Gen AI helped me travel in Tokyo. Blah blah blah. And the description is here. It starts with 3 examples and ends with sharp ChatGPT. Oops, sorry guys, not this page. So here, start with 3 examples and ended with sharp ChatGPT. So I was able to retrieve the title and retrieve the description of a YouTube URL correctly. Now, next one, I can get my transcription. Clicking this button will talk to the YouTube server again, get back the transcript, and process how many counts. Using TikTok can, how many token counts are there for this transcription. So here, this is a transcript from my YouTube video. Here we go. And then you are ready to summarize this transcript. Now make sure that you note this. So I made it in such a way that you can change the chunk size and overlap size parameter easily, the temperature as well. But again, this is a summarization task. So typically you want to set the temperature as low as possible. Now, Llama 3 context length is about 8,000 if I remember correctly. So this one should be able to fit in one go with with this one prompt. But let's actually fake it out. Well, you don't have to fake it out. So let's say that okay, the chunk size is 2,000. It's a no-brainer that it will take one computation, right? One summarization task, and that's it, because this thing can fit into that. While it's being calculated, let me just prepare a second video, which is much longer. My channel, how to go? Okay, right here. I am going to go to a very long here. This is a very long live sections, which is almost 2 hours. So I copy that URL. Alrighty. So well, it's taking quite a while. Remember, I'm running this LLM locally on my laptop, and my laptop is an M1 laptop, so it might be able to calculate it, but quite some time. I forgot to show you that if you run Ollama serve, not the app, you can actually see the computation that is happening in the background. Okay, Taking quite a long time, to be honest. So while it's being calculated, I can point out several improvements that we can do with this. The first thing is, okay, now it's just interrupted me. All right, sorry, I'll come back to the idea later, but this is a summary. A traveler uses Google's Gemini app to navigate Japan without speaking Japanese, correct? Relying on generative AI for local information. Part 1, yes, you can get, if you don't know anything about that particular region of the world, you can ask for culture, manners that you should do in the public or something else, or like areas you should avoid. You can get Gemini to help with recommendations about cafes and restaurants because it has integration with Google Map. And lastly, translation. This is a little bit understatement. In my video, I actually mean like Gemini helps you understand from an image, right? If you go to somewhere and you see, okay, I want to buy this product, but it's not in English at all, you can try to ask Gemini to explain that product by taking an image and ask it to explain it to you. And this is what I did, and it was quite helpful. I had a headache, and I want to take some medicine, but I'm not sure which one I should take. And with some help from Gemini, I can find the medicine I wanted. Now, while the AI is helpful, it has limitations in understanding cultural nuances and providing information on low resource languages like Japanese. Correct? That's what I said. The speaker concludes that while AI can be a useful tool, human interaction and research are still necessary for deeper understanding of a place. That's right. At least for now, when the internet or the LLMs haven't been able to do extensive search, do research on its own for low resource languages like Japanese language, for example. All right, so this is a short transcript where it fits into one go. Now let's try another URL. This is a longer one. Let's get a title: how to hire Gen AI LLM tokenization plus tick token, and another topic is about build customer chatbot with agent LLM and RAG. This is correct. If you go back here, and I'll get a transcription from it. Let's see. Wow, that's quite a lot. 14,000 tokens. Definitely overflowing the capability of Llama 3. At least in the version that I use is 8,000 chunk size. So I am going to say, okay, try your best to understand chunk size of 5,000. So this should be able to put me to run, to have 4 chunks or 5 chunks, depending on the overlap size. Let's say I want to keep an overlap of about 10% of the chunk size. And just to be fun, maybe increases temperature. Well, okay, I'm not going to do that. I want to make sure that it works properly, so I keep the creativity part of the model low. So now I'm going to hit summarize buttons, and it's going to power through different chunks, right? Creating summary for each chunks, and with all these sub summaries, it's going to write a final summary for us. Now, while it's going to be doing its job for, I hope, not longer than 2 minutes, I can point out what can be improved upon. First one, this can be changed to accommodate many other things like upload a file, right? You can add a tab there where a tab can be YouTube link, for one tab. Another link can be PDF. Another link can be excuse me, Excel file, for example. And then this is just a source, right? A location of a source. For YouTube, it can be like this. For a file, it can be a place where you can upload a file or drop in a file. And this section can be anything like information related to that file or a sneak peek into that file. For YouTube, I can add another panel that display an image, a cover of that YouTube video. I can do that too. I can add comments if I have APIs to retrieve that kind of information. This is the easy part. This is file related. But summarize steps, you can have an improvement on a set of parameters that you can tweak in the algorithm, right? Now I forced you to use Llama 3. Maybe you want to have a drop box to select the model that you want to for it to work on this summarization task. That's possible as well. Other parameters can be a port number. If you decided that you are going to change the default value of the port away, or you think it might be possible that one day you are using this port and the other day you're using another, you can have a box so that you allow the user to provide a target port and a model to load it up with. That's one of the way. What else you can do? Well, let me just go back to my code and then you can actually help me spot out what did I do? What can be done to improve? Okay, on this tab right here. So pretty much if you hard code anything, then this can be improved, right? Yeah, that's what I said. You can find a way to make sure to allow the user to select the model you want to use. For a tick token as well, you might allow for user to select an encoder to help you estimate the right number of tokens. Right now you see, well, the tokenizer is for ChatGPT, for GPT-4, but my model is Llama 3. That's a mismatch. That's the reason why I said it's an estimate token count. You can improve this as well. You can have a user select what type of chain types they want to use. It could be a stuff chain type, map reduce or refine process or something like that. Another possibility is to calculate how many chunks that is. You know, before the user hit summarize buttons, maybe they want to know how many chunks do I get myself into. Do I split it too little? Like, do I have to compute like 1,000 chunks where 20 can suffice? So that's a design option you can do. And another thing is, and this is maybe a critical one. As you can see here, the summary is short, right? I talked about 2 hours on 3 different topics. To be honest, I'm not going to be happy with this amount of summarization. It's too little. No, maybe it doesn't have enough detail so that I can learn from it. Think about it. If this is going to be about summarizing a lecture video, and then you get this much summary, there's no point. So that is a way for improvements on many levels of summarization tasks. If you just want a few liners, this is it. But if you want to summarize succinct enough, but also have details so that you can actually learn or pick up some specific information for it, then you need to optimize and customize this process. All right, just to make sure that I understand this correctly, I'm just going to read through this summary. The text appears to be a conversation between 2 AI models discussing between two AI models discussing. I'm not an AI, see? Their capabilities, strengths, potential application. It's a human discussing two AI models along its dimensions, including capability, strengths, potential application, and so on. So this is wrong. One model suggests creating a career development plan based on user goals and assessments. The conversation so touches on tokenization, natural language processing, NLP, building a customer chatbot for. This is correct. This is not. Now it refers to a human speaker, me. The speaker demonstrates the chatbot's capabilities, limitations, suggesting improvements to handle specific requests. Right. Well, I am requesting that this particular chatbot needs to be improved if you want to have a better summarization task. Anyway, so it's just the way it is. I use pre-made function from LangChain. I got a pre-made summary. So this lesson actually tells you summarization task can be easy and it can be detailed. If you want high quality summarization task based on your goal, you probably need to dig deeper and customize your steps. And it's not going to be that difficult, guys. You see the concepts here. It's just that what kind of prompt that you are going to ask it and how many layers you are willing to go through, and that's it. In theory, that's it. Okay, and that brings us to a close, guys. In summary, today you have learned two major things. The first one is Ollama. It's an application that allows you to, again, download an open source model like Llama 3. You can run it on your laptop, host a low API locally, and build applications from that locally hosted API. And the second part shows you, builds on top of Ollama, show you that you can now build application with Llama 3 being hosted locally with Ollama. You can build a summarize a chatbot to summarize a YouTube video based on YouTube's transcripts, and you can see you see a foundation of summarization tasks, and you see corner cases where you need to handle a case where the text is too long, doesn't fit the LLM. You know what a thing called map reduce process now, and you can see good and bad things of this simple tools that LangChain has provided, a tool called Load Summarize Chain. That's bring us to a close, guys, today. So thank you very much for staying up with me until now. I'll leave you with a thank you, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, comment, and if you have tried anything, like try the Ollama, and if it works or if it didn't, I'll be happy to hear it, and perhaps I can lend you a hand as well. So share it with with your coworkers, and share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much. Have a good day.